I think what to be substantive about one of the biggest problems that we face today, I think there is a growing gap between those at the top. And when I say those at the top, I mean there's various ways of looking at it. There's of course the financial elite.
Sure.
There's also a cultural and educational elite, intellectual elite, political elite, and so on. But in particular, there's an elite of expertise, scientific and technological expertise. We're living in a world of incredible and incomprehensible technological and scientific advancement. At the same time that we're living in a world that seems on the brink of disaster because of the changing climate, because of the environment. We've just emerged or are emerging from the COVID crisis, which I think we haven't even fully appreciated how badly it's affected our societies and our world. I think that will only emerge later on. And so there's a lack of trust, I think, between our experts and the general public. There is a huge gap of knowledge between those who actually mastered or understand the science and technology or have access to it, access to learning about it, access to using it, and access to purchasing it, to those who don't understand it, can't access it, can't purchase it, and fear it because it may be used for sinister purposes, they fear, or for surveillance, or for control, or for the profits of the distant elites. And I believe that this growing gap between elites, especially technological elites, and masses of people, this is true in the West, but not only in the West, is the major challenge facing leaders today and tomorrow. And I believe that the leader who is able to straddle both worlds, and by straddle both worlds, I don't mean manipulation. I don't mean someone who from the elite who's trying to trick people politically.
Yeah, sure.
I'm talking about someone who can appreciate the major scientific and technological advances that are happening, and they are happening, as we know, on the one hand, and on the other hand, the legitimate and understandable fears, apprehensions, and worries of people who are left behind or fear they are left behind. The person who can bridge between those two sides holds the key to leadership success in the future. Because a lot of the political phenomena that we're seeing now, I believe, especially the ones that elites fear the most, right? Populists and all these things that strongmen and all these things that we keep talking about, right? Or even weak leadership in some cases. They're stemming, in my opinion, from this basic problem. It's a very big problem, Armin. I see it everywhere. I see it when I'm in the US. I see it in Europe. Sure. I see it in Asia. I see it in China, but I see it also in Korea and Japan. I see it in India, where I travel as well. I see it everywhere. So here's the thing that really connects people: the leaders that can identify this as a problem and address it meaningfully. And by address it, I don't mean, oh, let's see how we can channel the science and technology for our national economy, or how some people can get wealthy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ability to get everybody on the same boat somehow. Then that person will be the leader that we'll be talking about in 50 or 100 years.